Do you dare to venture into the heart-pounding world of motorcycle clubs? Buckle up, because today we're embarking on an adrenaline-fueled journey into the realm of the legendary Hells Angels. As the road stretches before us, we'll uncover the dangerous rivals that have challenged the might of this iconic motorcycle club. From epic showdowns with the Outlaws to intense clashes with the Vagos, get ready to witness the top 5 most dangerous enemies Hells Angels has ever faced. So, grab your helmets, rev your engines, and prepare for a wild ride you won't soon forget. 5. Outlaws. Our 5th contender on the list is the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, one of the oldest biker clubs in the world, founded in 1935 in Illinois. Let's explore their history and the intense rivalry they share with Hells Angels. Originally established to provide bikers with social and recreational avenues, the Outlaws gradually transformed into a formidable criminal organization as the years passed. They became involved in illegal operations such as narcotics trafficking and extortion, making them a fierce competitor for Hells Angels. The exact origins of the rivalry between the Outlaws and Hells Angels remain a mystery. Some theories suggest that one club accused the other of committing a crime against a member's wife. Regardless of the cause, their clashes have taken place in different parts of the world, including the United States, Belgium, and the United Kingdom. One of the most infamous fights between the two clubs occurred during a motorcycle event in Michigan in 1984. Members from the Hells Angels camp set up camp next to the Outlaws, and blinded by anger, some armed Outlaws members entered the Hells Angels camp during the early hours and opened fire on their unarmed opponents. This skirmish resulted in multiple fatalities among the Hells Angels members. The enmity between the two biker gangs intensified when the Outlaws attacked the Indiana Hells Angels clubhouse in 1994, sparking a bloody shootout that claimed the lives of several bikers. The Outlaws and Hells Angels confronted each other once again in 2018 in Illinois, where a massive brawl erupted between 50 to 70 bikers. This battle of fists was fueled by long-standing grudges and deep-rooted animosity, leaving many bikers injured and resulting in 3 arrests on serious charges. 4. Bandidos. Coming in at number 4 on our list is the Bandidos Motorcycle Club. This global club, second only to Hells Angels, boasts a presence in 22 countries with over 2,000 members. Let's take a closer look at their history and their intense rivalry with Hells Angels. The Bandidos Motorcycle Club was founded in 1966 in San Leon, Texas, by Donald Eugene Chambers. Initially, the club was formed as a group of enthusiastic riders seeking to build a brotherhood centered around long-distance rides and companionship. However, over time, the club's activities took a criminal turn, and the Bandidos became notorious for their illicit dealings and aggressive behavior. Their hunger for power and dominance led to clashes with various motorcycle clubs, including their long-standing rivals, Hells Angels. The skirmish between the Bandidos and Hells Angels began in the 1990s when the Bandidos expanded their chapters into France, a region already dominated by Hells Angels. This territorial power battle ignited tensions between the two biker clubs. Within the Bandidos Club, some members felt marginalized in the decision-making process, and as a result, split from the main club to create a new faction known as the Bandidos Nomads. This division within the Bandidos provided an opportunity for Hells Angels to exploit the situation and further escalate the tension within the rival club. As the Bandidos Nomads grew, recruiting an increasing number of disenchanted Bandidos members, violent clashes between the two biker gangs became inevitable. The worst brawl occurred in 1996 at a petrol station in Denmark, where many lives were lost and countless others were injured. Unfortunately, the fight was far from over. In 2006, a scuffle broke out in Australia when members of the Bandidos Club crashed a Hells Angels clubhouse in Sydney uninvited. This unauthorized intrusion led to numerous Hells Angels members being stabbed and battered. In retaliation, Hells Angels carried out a series of attacks on Bandidos clubhouses across Australia. Some members even ran a vehicle over a clubhouse in Adelaide, destroying everything inside. This battle continued for several months, despite police intervention and arrests, as each party tried to gain an advantage over the other. 3. Mongols. Now, let's explore the history and the dangerous encounters that have taken place between Mongols and Hells Angels. The Mongols Motorcycle Club, founded in 1969 in Montebello, California, emerged as a mainstream club providing a platform for non-white, mainly Hispanic, bikers to ride together and find a sense of community. The club was formed in response to Hells Angels' policy of excluding non-white members at that time, creating a grudge from the very beginning. Although smaller in terms of membership and global presence compared to clubs like Hells Angels and Bandidos, the Mongols quickly gained a notorious reputation within just 15 years of their establishment. Members of this biker gang were involved in various illicit activities, such as intimidation, assault, and even murder, to defend their territory and uphold their club's reputation. The Mongols' involvement in illegal drug trade, money laundering, extortion, and robbery earned them the title of the single most violent and dangerous biker gang in America, according to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF. The rivalry between the Mongols and Hells Angels has been brewing for many years, primarily fueled by territorial disputes and the desire to establish dominance. The first confrontation between these two clubs occurred in 2002, resulting in 3 bikers losing their lives. 2 Hells Angels members involved in the fight were later sentenced to 2 years in prison. Unfortunately, this incident was just the beginning of a series of retaliatory strikes between the Mongols and Hells Angels. In one particularly brutal incident, the Mongols were cornered by a group of Hells Angels in a Nevada casino parking lot armed with baseball bats and tire irons. This retaliation was in response to an attack on Hells Angels members, resulting in severe injuries to the Mongols. The Mongols swiftly retaliated in 2008 when several heavily armed Mongols members stormed a Hells Angels clubhouse in Santa Cruz, California. This bloody battle claimed the life of a Hells Angels member and left many injured. Following these clashes, the FBI launched a large-scale operation against the Mongols in the same year. This operation resulted in the arrests of over 60 members, including high-ranking leaders. While the Mongols have struggled to recover from the setback, their hostility towards Hells Angels remains unchanged. 2. Pagans. The Pagans Motorcycle Club, formed in 1957 by Lou Dobkin in Prince George's County, Maryland, started as a group of motorcycle enthusiasts who simply wanted to ride together. However, the club quickly evolved into an outlaw motorcycle club known for their violent behavior and aggressive territorial strategies. The name Pagans was chosen by the club's founder, and their distinctive patch depicts Surtur, the Norse fire god, sitting on burning wood while brandishing a fire sword. This patch symbolizes the fierce and rebellious nature of the Pagans Motorcycle Club. The Pagans expanded rapidly, establishing strongholds in several areas which didn't sit well with Hells Angels, who already had a well-established presence. The territorial conflicts between these two notorious clubs ignited a fierce rivalry. The roots of their rivalry can be traced back to the 1970s when the Pagans continued to create new chapters and expand their territory across the East Coast, seemingly encroaching on areas claimed by Hells Angels. The result was a series of violent brawls that never seemed to come to an end. One of the deadliest battles occurred in 2002 in Plainview, New York, when a few members of the Pagans attacked a group of Hells Angels. The skirmish left many severely injured and instilled fear within the neighborhood. The animosity between these two rival clubs reached another tragic peak when a Hells Angels member lost their life at the hands of a Pagans member during a clash at a Nevada casino in the same year. Each club pointed fingers, blaming the other for instigating these violent clashes. However, the struggle for territorial dominance and control over criminal enterprises continued, leading to ongoing fights and confrontations. 1. Vagos. The Vagos Motorcycle Club traces its roots back to 1965, amidst the Vietnam War. 13 bikers gathered on the corner of 8th and Davidson in San Bernardino, California, to form the Vagos Motorcycle Club. Little did they know that this club would later go down in history as a leading facilitator in drug trafficking and engage in horrific clashes with law enforcement. The name Vagos MC, derived from the Spanish word for vagabond, was chosen by the club's elected president, Rudy Esparza. The iconic Red Devil on Wheels patch, set against a green background, was inspired by an image of a Devil in Life magazine entitled Return from Hell. Over the years, the Vagos Motorcycle Club expanded its chapters across California and eventually grew into one of the largest outlaw motorcycle groups in Western America. With over 600 members and 24 chapters across the United States, Mexico, Canada, and Europe, the Vagos became known for their aggressive disposition and involvement in various illegal activities, including drug sales, weapons trafficking, and money laundering. Unlike many other motorcycle clubs driven by territorial dominance, the Vagos had a particular hunger for power and expansion that often put them in direct conflict with Hell's Angels. As Hell's Angels already had an established presence, clashes between the Vagos and Hell's Angels became inevitable. The conflict between the Vagos and Hell's Angels began in the 1990s when the Vagos established a chapter in California, seemingly encroaching on Hell's Angels' territory. This triggered a series of violent brawls that unfortunately never seemed to end. One of the most brutal onslaughts occurred in 2002 in Nevada, where members of the Hells Angels attacked a group of Vagos. The resulting skirmish left many severely injured, and the entire neighborhood gripped with fear. Another clash unfolded in 2011 when a Hells Angels member was killed at a Nevada casino at the hands of a Vagos member. This tragic incident only fueled the fire of the ongoing feud, and fights erupted across the country as both clubs vied for dominance. And there you have it, folks, the top 5 most dangerous enemies of Hells Angels. The Bandidos, Outlaws, Mongols, Vagos, and Pagans have all clashed with Hells Angels, resulting in a history filled with violence, bloodshed, and intense rivalries. These motorcycle club rivalries serve as a stark reminder of the dangerous and sometimes deadly world within these subcultures. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey through the dark side of motorcycle clubs.